Located on 225 acres in Garden City, Long Island, Nassau Community College, a member of the State University of New York system, has close to 20,000 students attend the school each year. The college mascot is Leo the Lion, and these are his stories of the school's absolute best and brightest who have graduated over the past 50-plus years. Let's catch up together as the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College proudly presents Lion Tales, a Nassau Community College Foundation production on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Lion Tales, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Aurora Workman. I am the president of the Nassau Community College Alumni Association. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Dr. Lynnda Nadien, a proud graduate of NCC, and together we'll share stories that will inspire, uplift, and often amuse you.
Each week, Aurora and I will introduce you to alumni of Nassau Community College interested in sharing their experience here at Nassau Community College, along with the secrets to their success. If you, our listening audience, has any positive news you would like to share about Nassau Community College alumni, engagements, births, graduations, weddings, and or accolades, email us at alumni@ncc.edu and we will shout you out.
You know, did you know that Nassau Community College is located in Garden City, New York, is part of the State University of New York system, also known as SUNY. And Nassau is the largest single-campus community college in the state and is the first choice for one of every 5 college-bound high school graduates in Nassau County. I am glad I made it my first choice. And so today's guest is a graduated student-athlete and sales associate at Party City. She is a go-getter, an adventurer, and a personification of the old adage, you never know unless you try. I'd like to welcome to the show today Miss Madeline Berger, class of 2017, a very proud graduate of Nassau Community College. Today we're going to learn from Madeline the value of Carpe Diem, to seize the day. Welcome to Lion Tales, Maddy.
Thank you.
So why did you decide to attend Nassau? We're going to just jump right into your story.
I attended Nassau because, like most high school graduates, I don't want to pay all the loans. So my parents said, go to Nassau, and then you can go anywhere else you want after your 2 years. So at first I was like, I don't know. And then I was really sad to leave high school. And then once I stepped foot on Nassau, I'm like, I love it here. So I think my first choice was the best choice.
And then can you give us a brief on your liberal arts program?
Yeah, the liberal arts program here, I was in the Associates in the Arts. I am at Farmingdale now, hoping to get into their dental program. So I took a lot of the classes here to get in over there. And I was able to make a journey out of it, which you'll see later on. We'll talk about how I was able to study abroad through the legal studies program. So,
right. So she's a student athlete, Lynnda, and we're going to talk about how you became a student athlete.
Yeah, that's a crazy story. So usually on the NCC portal, they have announcements, and it popped up that there were tennis tryouts, and I've never stepped on the tennis court except in gym class. So I contacted my coach, Laura Gilbert, and she said, yeah, come on down. Now, let's remember, I've never really stepped on the court, and I had this I actually had a little mini kid's tennis racket, and she's like, give this to your neighbor. I'll never forget she said that. So she was comparing it to the size of her tennis racket, and she was a little unsure, but I was like, I want to do this. I want to learn the game of tennis. And she put me out there, and the athletic director was like, I don't know. And she put it in, she told Coach Gilbert, the ball's in your court. So she said that she has faith in me, and every day from dusk till dusk at Eisenhower Park, I was just drenched, and I learned the game of tennis.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, tennis took you some places that, we like to go. So tell us about where did you play?
Yes. So, from my experience at NCC, I brought my skills over to Farmingdale State College women's tennis team, which was a great experience. A lot more challenges, a little bit more pressure, new techniques. And for any tennis player's dream, I did step on and play at the U.S. Open outside courts with my team. So not a lot of people have that opportunity, but I was able to play on the courts of the U.S. Open with my team, which was pretty amazing.
And Coach Gilbert was a big influence on you in what way?
Coach Gilbert was a huge influence on me because she believed in me. She saw me as a prior athlete in high school, and she said, you can do this. Like, she really, she didn't want to give up on me. And she, at the end at regionals, she gave me my prize and put me out there in doubles. So she didn't want to give up on me, which brought me to where I am today.
Now, what part of your tenure here at Nassau did you become a tennis star?
My last year here, so fall of 2016, was when I became that tennis star. So
they kind of changed your whole outlook.
Yeah, it's like day and night if you look at my first day of tennis to now. So.
Do tennis players rank themselves in terms of ability? Did you do that? Or, if you were on a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, I'm like 7.58. I'm not a Serena Williams, but, my tennis skills have improved along the way.
And very humble.
Yes. So tell us, you were playing tennis now, because you said you've never played tennis before, and here you get motivated. What motivated you to sit there and pick tennis?
I think I just loved the game of tennis. I love the idea of it, but I tell anyone, it's not as easy as it looks. So, but it said open tryouts for women's tennis, so I was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, oh my God, it was nothing like I expected. So it's not as easy as it looks, but it's a lifetime sport.
How did you find your teammates?
I'm sorry?
How did you find your teammates? Were they all tennis able, or they were inviting? And
yeah, so Jada, the captain at the time, she was literally like the next Serena Williams. So she's an amazing player. So she was the captain of the team. The other players, I think one came from a tennis class here at Nassau, and the other one came in from high school. So we all had different backgrounds, different techniques, but we, the six of us, made it together. So we became very close, very good team.
When's the tennis season here?
The women's tennis season is in the fall, and then the men's is in the spring.
So do you travel? I
only traveled with Farmingdale. I only went to Selden with the Suffolk Community College with Nassau.
So your skills there were really good to bring you from there to Farmingdale's women's team.
Yeah, Farmingdale, it was more of a challenge, a lot more pressure, but I learned, a lot more techniques and how to attack the ball more, be a more aggressive player, different swing techniques, so different coaching styles.
And what were some of the most memorable courses at Nassau that you've taken?
So I discussed with a lot of people. The wine tasting class, most of all, was probably one of my memorable and most favorite class.
And when we come back, we're going to be talking to Maddy about the wine tasting class. You're listening to Lion Tales on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Aurora Workman, along with Dr. Lynnda Nadien, and our guest today is Madeline Berger, a go-getter, an adventurer, and a proud graduate of Nassau Community College. So tell us about the legal studies program and that led you to your study abroad.
The legal studies program here is pretty well known. They have a paralegal program. They have a certification program, which you can get your certificate and, go to law school, start in paralegals. So usually, like I said, with the tennis, I got an email about studying abroad through the legal program. So I signed up for that with Professor Alexander and Professor Holtzman. Dean Holtzman came along, and that was 12 days throughout Europe. So we went to Germany, France, the Netherlands, stopped in Belgium, and we went to all of the Peace Corps, all the law, whatever the word is, the law places. I can't think
courts.
Of there it is. Thank you. Yeah, we went to all the courts.
And how did that wine tasting work into that?
Oh, yeah, it was top notch. I was telling the class, what to order when we went out. So the wine tasting class definitely came in handy, especially in France, because Italy and France are definitely neck and neck with their wine in the vineyards. But that trip was amazing. It really changed me as a person. I got to see what it was like to travel with different people, how I am in a group setting. So, but yeah, Europe's more liberal there. So,
and some of the places that you visited, like you're saying France and Italy, and what were you seeing there in terms of the coursework?
In the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. We went to the Peace Corps. So we learned about how their lawmaking is like works there, and like when people like it's amazing the amount of cases that get filed, and like just the processes and the steps they go through to plead someone guilty, plead someone not guilty. The laws there are very different, and that's what I think amazes me, And when I came back, I was happy to say, I'm happy to be an American, but I'm also, you're happy for, your citizenship, basically. But I was happy to explore, and we just learned, like, how people are punished there, the different, like, for example, their lawmaking, if you're 16, 17, there were people, in the clubs and the bars, but you don't see that here. You don't see 16-year-olds, taking shots
and then
at a bar.
One of those very famous court cases with Amanda Knox, and being a student abroad in Italy, and, what had happened to her during that situation. Did they speak about that at all? Did that come up at all in terms of litigation or how that was solved?
Italy, I'm actually going to Italy with Farmingdale this spring. I didn't touch Italy with Nassau, but they talked about mostly actually World War II during the Nuremberg trials. So we did discuss that, too. Especially when we were just how, not getting too deep into it, what, the crimes they committed and how they, Germany, their lawmaking, how they dealt with it, their punishment, how they pleaded them for guilty, and just the cases that came in. But yeah, like, what you have to remember is America's like a baby, but like, we're only 200 years old, and these places are thousands of years old. So you go. It's
very interesting. What character strengths did these experiences provide to you, coming back to America now and then continuing your studies here?
So I definitely, as a character, I was a lot more open to other people's beliefs and how things work, so I wasn't so, I guess, judgmental. That's a good word.
Less judgmental.
Yeah. And, it really was an eye-opener when I went to Europe, because just their lifestyles and, what they go through, it's different, so they're more liberal, and so I became more open and more respected as a person.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that's one of the things that when you were talking and you were saying when you were at the courts, and it was reminiscent of era. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I was saying, like, when I go I've never been to Italy, so I'm going this spring, and I was saying, for example, when we touched the Colosseum, I put myself in my shoes in a gladiator's shoes. So I put myself as someone living in the 1940s and 50s, and I like closed my eyes, and I just pretended that I was someone from that era, and it just changes your whole aspect on things.
That's just such a transformational kind of experience that you have. When she was telling about that, I could picture that whole Ben-Hur kind of.
Yeah. And then you would recommend then for, students at Nassau that if they do have the opportunity to seek the studying abroad, that you would definitely promote that for them and encourage them to do that?
Yeah, I would. I think my famous story was when, like I said, as soon as I got to Europe, the first hotel room in Germany, and I was with a complete stranger too, it was a translucent clear shower in the middle of the room. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be some, and then you just have that's just how it is, very small.
That's why you had the wine tasting class.
So
we're going to talk so much more about the wine tasting class and your experiences there and how that class comes to unfold, because you had some great experiences that we talked about. And so, and I believe that Professor Ursula was a big part of your class. We'll talk about that.
And we'll talk about bowling and wine. You are listening to Lion Tales. Our guest today, Madeline Maddy Berger, a 2017 graduate from the Liberal Arts Program, a go-getter and an adventurer. My name is Lynnda Nadien, along with Aurora Workman, on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Everybody buckle up. Buckle up. Buckle up. Buckle up. Everybody buckle up. Buckle up. Buckle up. Everybody buckle up.
Let's go.
Buckle up. Everybody, buckle up.